Man, listen. Ghostwriters. This year, this year, this year it's about tearing down these structures. This year is about tearing down these structures. This year it's about getting rid of the idea that artists should not be allowed to perform or artists should not be allowed to make a living. You know, a ghostwriter is an artist. A ghostwriter is a content creator. And a ghostwriter might not be able to deliver a rap, but that don't mean that they shouldn't have a career. And if battle rap is something that has the ability to change people's lives. Battle rap has the ability to change people's lives. Think about Drake. And think about what was supposedly exposed when the guy came out and being exposed as being a ghostwriter for Drake. He began to receive light. He didn't hold on. Quentin Miller. He didn't hold on to that well, and he didn't capitalize off of it well. Why? Because the hip hop industry, the industry that's supposed to be for the people that's going through the hardest struggles, the one that's keeping the people that's going through the hardest struggle with their strict judgment and their artificial perceptions, keeping them down, didn't allow him to come up. Why? Because they put a stigma on him. Why? Because he was a writer. And oh yeah, it wasn't good to have a writer doing creating a song that you perform, but it's good if you in R&B. It's good if you in reggae. It's good if you in opera. It's good if you in any other type of music. It's good if you in any other type of art form. But the only art form that is not good in is the one where the people are suffering the most expressing it from. You see? I'm curious, man. I'm curious what people think about that. I'm curious what people think about that. You see? I'm curious what people think about that. So you gotta what's going on with ghostwriters? What's going on? What we gonna do with that? You know, you wanna call them a ghost because you want them to stay invisible. Let's just call them writers. People that write behind the scene. If you go back, this is why I used to love albums so much. Because when you go back on the albums, even though a lot of them wasn't receiving the credit that they deserve, if you go and look on the lyrics, you'll see who was getting credit for helping create those lyrics. Michael Jackson had writers. Michael Jackson was one of the best writers. Drake had writers. Drake has did some of the best writing. But y'all want to keep it a secret. Y'all want to keep it to a degree where people cannot make a living off of the skill set that they have. Y'all are trying to repress a whole genre of artists. And then here we go again. I'm going to say it again. You got people that make response songs. When Nick Cannon came out with the battle rappers in their diss song in a response to Eminem, when he got the help and they came and Eminem didn't respond, but people that love Eminem and that was able to rap responded, and everybody was like, yeah, 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 yeah. The same people that's like, Benzino didn't write that. Benzino didn't write that. Forget the content of what it is that he was talking about. Forget the effect that the song had, but it just became about, oh, he had some help with his verse. But I guess that's the crowd, right? And the only thing I'm saying, the crowd, when the crowd get to the point where they restricting people from being able to restrict an artist from being able to make a living, from being able to come out of the closet. You let everybody come out of the closet except for writers of rap. Not just writers, but writers of rap. Everybody can come out of the closet except for writers of rap. Not performers. If you perform it, then you good. But if you just a writer, then you can't come out of the closet. You have to stay hidden. What's the logic in that? What's the logic in that? I'm waiting for somebody to tell me what is the logic of that. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it, not one bit. And so that's what this Scorpio moon do. The Scorpio moon bring stuff that's dead back to life. They want to change. Let's see. They want to change the rapper, but they can't change words or the effect of the words. Soul was damaged, and let me see this. It ain't let me see it that good. Souls was damaged, and only, what's that last part? And only, I can't see that last part of it. I hear you though. They want to change the rapper, but they can't change words or the effect of the words. But you know what? But here's the thing. Here's the thing about giving a speech. Here's the thing about doing a rap. It don't matter. It's gonna come when it comes to performing. The spirit of the performer is the one that's gonna make those words either come alive or the ones that's gonna make those words sound dead. If you have a performer that's not a good performer, then it don't matter what those words are, it's gonna sound dead. It's gonna come on deaf ears. But if you have a performer that's a really, 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 really good performer, at the same time, it don't matter what those words are. It's gonna come out like fire. If a good case in point, you know, let's go to Chicago, and let's look at 051 Kiddo. 051 Kiddo rap like maybe every 3 or 4 bars or something like that. He barely raps, but his delivery and how he brings them across, and the energy and the spirit. Speaking of being in a Scorpio moon today, 051 Kiddo has a Scorpio sun, but being that he delivers it in a certain type of way, the content that he's saying is okay, and his lyrical ability of as far as rhyming is definitely absent, but his songs are looked at as fire because of the delivery. So the delivery is what's most important in rap battles and speeches or whatever. The delivery is what's most important, you know. Yeah, if they true, but you know, they gonna cut to the bone, but it depends. So if they're true, but people boo it and people don't cheer for it and all of that, then a person can wipe the sweat off of their forehead and they get by it. They not gonna be as bothered and they not gonna be as hurt by it. But if they true and they fire, or it's delivered with fire, then people gonna be like they doing right now. They gonna be all in their feelings. They gonna be making all kind of excuses. You know, they the ones make it into a race thing. You know, Benzino gonna say what it is that he say, or the rappers gonna say whatever it is that they say to get into a point. You know, but if it's not true, but they bringing it if it's not true, regardless of how they bringing it across, if it ain't hitting, then they ain't gonna have no problem with it. But when it's hitting, then that's when they gonna have a problem with it. And if it happens to be true while it's hitting, then if it's something that affects them as well or affects their perception, they're gonna put up the guard. It don't exist. Let's not teach our children this. Let's not let them see what reality is, because that is going to make them feel bad about themselves. Right? It's gonna make them feel bad about themselves. So yeah, man, you right. You definitely right. I'm still trying to see. I need to get this. There we go. Here we go. I got you now. All right. Well, that's what it is, man. That's definitely what it is. So, I'm waiting. I stick around, and I'm gonna see what's gonna happen with this. But what I'm seeing right now, it's not fair. And then here's another thing. See, I always been the person that bullied the bully. Well, not always. Probably in elementary school, I wasn't. In elementary school, I had to learn how to fight the bullies. But after I learned how to fight the bullies, and after I learned to go and punch the bully in the mouth first before the bully had a chance to try to threaten me, then I ultimately became the person that bullies the bully. And so here's what we're talking about, and this is the content in some of the complaints in that diss song. He basically said that Eminem was a bully. I like Eminem verses. I think he's definitely in my top 5. But if I'm gonna be 100% honest, you have to address the question: what lyricists has he battled? With the exception of MGK, right? And MGK gets better and better, But what lyricists has he really battled? And here's what people say. Even in all of this, they say stupid stuff like, well, the game was, Benzino was a better rapper than the game. Nobody in their right mind can formulate that. And I understand that the person who is getting dissed by them, their ideal is, I'm not going to respond to that because I'm going to give him some light, and I ain't trying to let him make no money. So they're getting away from hip-hop and the spirit of hip-hop that they supposed to love so much, and it's more about capitalism. It's more about, how am I going to capitalize off of this right here, That's no different than a person that's 100-0 as a boxer, but the people that they fought was somebody that's washed up. It ain't no different than that. They're 100-0, but everybody that they fought was 0-100. But you want to give them the credit for being 100-0. Yeah, he had an opportunity. He had an opportunity to me, the most worthy component, the most worthy opponent that he had the ability to go against was the game. He didn't respond. Even when Nick Cannon, Nick Cannon is not a rapper. Nick Cannon is a comedian, that put words together, freestyling, and make a good show. But Nick Cannon is not a top tier rapper. And so when you have somebody that's an elite rapper, and they're going against somebody that's not even really a rapper, that's not even a subpar rapper, and then that person go and get help, it's like a bully. It's a bully that's picking on the little guy, right? And then the little guy go and get his brother that's the bully size. And when his brother come back that's the bully size and he beats up the bully, or he goes to fight the bully and the bully runs, that's like people calling the one that went to get his big brother, giving him slack for that. Because he didn't stand and fight the bully, the person that was way bigger than him, that he had no chance of winning against. How can you, even if Benzino got help, how can you be mad at that? In one sense, you would say that Eminem is the rap god. You would say that Eminem is the best rapper of all times. And he picks a fight, and whether he started it, whether he responded, he sparked this back up this time. The same way that he sparked it back up with MGK. That thing had been gone. That beef had been dead. The same way that he sparked it back up with MGK is the same way that he sparked it back up with Benzino. And if Benzino did, if somebody else seen that, it's like, man, look, I don't like what he doing to you. That's bold as hell. That ain't no fair fight. It ain't no way you could beat him. I'ma help you. I'm your big brother in this right here. I'm your big brother in bars. How can you be upset about that? I can see how we get upset about that because, it's the nature of how we were bred. Everybody born here, regardless of what your ancestry is. We America, we the U.S., we the bullies. We the bullies on the block. And so you tend to look at things from the bully's perspective unless you've been one to bully the bully. How can you get mad at him for getting some help? And you know he can't rap. You know he ain't got the bar. It ain't that now what we found is it's not that he can't rap. He just can't write. And Benzino always said that he got help in the booth. When he was doing Made Men, he always said that he got help in the booth. This is not nothing new. The only reason that it's a problem is the help that he got this time helped him win a battle. It let him do a back-to-back. But he not. So Benzino, he ain't even trying to lie to the world. If that's what you're saying, if you're saying that Benzino lying to the world, he ain't even trying to lie to the world. It's no way he could lie to the world. He got his whole rap history shows you what his rap level was. Benzino has never been known to be a lyricist. Benzino has never been known to be a person that put not even average bars together. So he's not lying to himself, but what he's telling the truth about, if he say he won that round, he won that round. If he needed to get help to do it, so what? Okay, he fighting a giant. He's fighting a giant. Yeah, he fighting a giant, man. And I don't understand what's hard to understand about that to so many people. You got somebody that's way out of their league and you're upset because they needed help. What they supposed to do, just get beat to death and don't say nothing? No, I need help. Come on, help me. And then you get somebody else to have birth to a career. Look at the whole thing with Megan Thee Stallion. I personally don't like her, because I represent. Exactly. They didn't complain. They didn't complain when Biggie wrote for Lil C's. They didn't complain when Biggie wrote for Lil Kim. They didn't complain when Biggie wrote for Lil Kim. They didn't complain when Biggie wrote for Lil C's. You had more people that was getting wrote for than people that was doing the writing. Go back to them UTFO days. Go back to all of them Roxannes that was responding. Go back to the JJ Fast. All of them wasn't writing they bars. Go back to NWA, Easy E, one of the greatest of all times from the West Coast. He wasn't writing his rhymes. And people want to say, okay, well, we're talking about battle. No, in the battles, he was not writing his rhymes. In the battles Easy E was having with Dr. Dre, he wasn't you only 60 pounds when you wet and wearing boots. Easy E didn't write that. Easy E had Baby G or BG, whatever his name is. He had all of those other recruits. Easy E had Bone Thugs and Harmony. Easy E had a whole bunch of people that was writing for him in his battles. When they was battling against Ice Cube, well, before Ice Cube put out No Vaseline. See that, and that's a different. To give credit to somebody who is only a writer, or to give credit to somebody who is only a performer, is not to take away credit from somebody who does both. That's like people think that if a person is a writer of a movie, a director of a movie, and an actor of a movie, then that takes away the greatness of somebody who is just an actor but not a writer, who is just an actor but not a director. It should be a category for each one of them. I set up and did 24 years. And in that 24 years, it was a guy, he's finally out now after 30-something years, named Gemini Ramona OG. And he couldn't go out there and perform. He performed on the yard, but he wrote a whole album for a rap group out of Flint, Michigan. And this rap group ended up being one of the first big rap groups to come out of the state of Michigan. And he helped them. I'm not saying he wrote every single thing on there, but he wrote a great deal of it, and he spit it to them over the telephone and everything, showed them how it sound, and they became famous. They became one of the first ones to put their city on the map. But and now he's out and he's rapping and he's on YouTube and he does songs and things of that nature. I even reacted to one of them, but he don't get the accolades. They almost got Grammys. He don't get the accolades. You got plenty of people inside of there that's doing writing. They can't come out and perform. So does that mean that a person that's a writer shouldn't get the accolades? See, once people get over this hypocritical thing and get over this crab in the barrel thing of making it taboo for a person to be a writer, even more so for a person that's a performer to use a writer, once people get out of that taboo, then that's when you'll be able to see rap take on a whole nother level. You'll see it able to get back to its core. And then even more than that, you'll be able to see people that get the recognition that they truly deserve. With that, this is my very first live. John Brunson, I'm definitely gonna remember you. You the very first person that came on here. You the very first person that contributed to my lives and everything, and you etched on there. Whether my channel blow up, whether my channel don't blow up, or whatever it is that I do in there, I'm definitely gonna remember you, and I'm definitely gonna keep you on the top of that. Until next time, this is Gangsta Astrology and Rap Beat. Deuces.